Nearly 30,000 people from around the world have gathered in New York City for the second Baha'i World Congress. Two years of preparation, along with the help of over 4,000 volunteers, has culminated in this historic event, which marks the centenary of the passing of Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith. This momentous occasion is being broadcast via satellite to more than 50 countries worldwide.
Could I see camera 3?
The Baha'is that are gathered here in the Jacob Javits Center in New York represent hundreds of countries, territories, islands, and tribes. These are the people of Baha.
We are the Aba, the Zulu, the Acholi, the Zapotec. We are from Angola, Algeria, Zambia. We are Colombians, Aitsaoun, French, Tangali, Finns, Ojibwa, Greek. We are the Aymara, the Mayans, the Dutch, the Yoruba, the Cree, the Inuit. We are from Tuvalu, Spain, Luxembourg, Argentina, Zimbabwe, Suriname.
We are the Poles, the Greenlanders, the Pakistanis, the Bank Islanders, the Maori, the Andangme. We are Mexican, Apache, Comorian, Swedes, Tigray. We are from Botswana, South Africa, Papua New Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Martinique, Guadeloupe, Ireland, Uzbekistan, Canada.
This is the message of the Universal House of Justice to this wonderful Congress, that so wide a diversity of the human race as you represent has assembled at this commemorative event is in itself history-making, and is indeed an impressive demonstration of the potency and potential of the covenant as the instrument designed by the Lord of the age for the unification and pacification of the nations and peoples of the earth.
We are Germans, Sara, Guayni, Somalis, Ekoi, Lebanese. We are the Babwa, the Babilis, the Tlingit, the people of Cameroon, the Oromo, the Haida, the Balante. We are Panamanians, Iroquois.
Now, therefore, I, David N. Dinkins, Mayor of the City of New York, in recognition of this important gathering in our city, do hereby proclaim Monday, November 23rd, 1992 in the city of New York as Baha'i World Congress Day.
We are the Latvians, the Lakota, the Arapaho, the Yami, the Yo, the Bribri. We are Australian, Torres Strait Islanders, Salish, Pygmies, Nepalese, Mauritanians. We are from the Bahamas, Scotland.
It is my privilege now to read to you a message to this Congress from the President of the United States of America. Baha'i teachings on religious tolerance, the unity of mankind, the elimination of prejudice, equality of the sexes, and universal peace embody principles that all people of goodwill admire and support. As you salute the life and writings of Baha'u'llah, I join you in praying that we may see the realization of these fundamental principles in every land. You have my best wishes for a meaningful celebration. George Bush.
They are your worldwide neighbors. They are your brothers and sisters. They are members of the Baha'i faith, an independent world religion with adherents in virtually every country. The Baha'i world is a cross-section of humanity. It comprises members living in more than 90,000 localities in 155 countries, men and women of various religious and ethnic origins. More than 2,100 ethnic groups and tribes are represented. Of these, 30,000 Baha'is have gathered in New York City to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the passing of Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith.
It is a world religion, and this religion, in the 150 some odd years of its history, has now encompassed the world in a sense to where we can say it is the second most widespread religion in the world.
Fundamentally, it's one religion that has been revealed progressively from age to age, like school.
That God, the unknowable essence, manifests himself through what Baha'u'llah, the founder of the Baha'i faith, teaches are messengers or manifestations of the attributes and names and qualities of God, also known as prophets.
The Baha'i faith is the reason for living. For instance, if I do something, I ask myself, is this in accordance to the Baha'i teachings?
Baha'u'llah's teachings for me is something very special because it's given me a vision of how to have unity and diversity. And also, it's let me see and know what the spiritual qualities are, which are hidden in each man.
Since the United Nations has been established in 1944, the Baha'is have worked very closely with this body. The Baha'is are involved in all the social programs, the economic programs, as non-governmental status at the United Nations. Our most recent effort was at the Earth Summit in Brazil, in which the Baha'is are very involved in this issue.
And since we're trying to bring humanity back together where it is supposed to be, we're concentrating on the higher nature of man. But in order to understand unity, harmony, and love, you have to understand yourself.
If you want to have a clean spirit, you want to be close to God, you have to communicate in prayers. Baha'u'llah, the Bab Baha'u'llah Abdul Baha, they have given us many prayers in any social fields which you can pray.
Baha'i faith, for me and for my people, means the unity of the human race. We've learned to value our own culture and also the development of our own being. And this gives us motivation to continue the examples of Abdu'l-Baha and the teachings of Baha'u'llah. In this life, we must serve humanity with love and with encouragement.
The Baha'i faith began in 1844 when a young Persian merchant, the Bab, which means gate, announced that a new era had dawned in mankind's history and that he would usher in this new era. And shortly thereafter, Baha'u'llah, whose name means the glory of God, announced that he was a promise of all ages. He was imprisoned, he was exiled for 40 years, and despite his sufferings in his exile, he was able to write over 100 books and give us the blueprint for world order.
I came from a Hindu background. I didn't understand what was religion until I became a Baha'i, how the religions are tied up. All the while people say you change religion. But being a Baha'i, I know religion progressed. So I sort of didn't change from my Hinduism. Only thing, I grew better.
So in fact, we felt from Los Angeles itself, or from the time we started from Malaysia, we had a feeling that as if we are going to pilgrimage. And after coming and seeing all of them here, we feel it's so beautiful, so lovely.
I would like to say Allahu Akbar to all the friends in the world.
The first day of the World Congress was designed to generate reflection upon the meaning and purpose of the life of Baha'u'llah. The gathering opened with a reminder of much-loved friends who were unable to attend.
All of us in this gathering are poignantly aware that the achievements we celebrate have in considerable part been won by the sacrifices of our fellow believers in Iran. Sacrifices of well-being, of opportunity, of education, of possessions, of life itself. If there is one unwavering message that has come out of Iran over the past terrible 13 years, it is this: that we must not, for 1 minute, allow any grief to shadow the Baha'i world's joy over the breathtaking victories that these sacrifices have purchased. Today, this message of loving contentment with the will of God comes to us in the form of a magnificent gift of flowers sent to the Congress from the friends in the cradle of the faith. Mr. David Hoffman, former member of the Universal House of Justice, will now speak about Baha'u'llah, the promised one of all ages.
Mankind today is starving for spiritual food, is dying of thirst. In the innermost private life of every man, woman, and child on the planet. There is this inner frustration, this inner lack, this hunger, this yearning for something better than what the world is offering to it today or what they can discover in the world. When all the activities of mankind turn against him, his economics doesn't feed, clothe, and shelter him, his religion doesn't inspire him to kindliness and goodwill, his politics are unmentionable, his recreations are debased, nothing of the traditional and age-old activities of mankind, which at certain times in history, under the guidance of a manifestation of God, have risen to wonderful heights within the limitations of their ages. Nothing today gratifies this longing, this yearning in the individual human soul, frankly, for the love of God. Therefore, this is our opportunity, for we know the source of that divine love, Baha'u'llah, the Prince of Peace, the King of Love. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, was the cry of one of the great prophets of Israel. And the King of Glory shall come in. Now let us from this great Congress send a signal to the rest of humanity. Lift up your heads, O peoples of the world, and listen and hear the message of your Lord, your Creator, who loves you, who wants you to be happy and joyful and in a blissful condition of human felicity and brotherhood and peace on earth. This is the message of Baha'u'llah. Recall that wonderful song of the great Isaiah, anticipating the coming of the Great One in the great day of God, when all his bounties would be poured out upon mankind. He should be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father. And of his judgment and kingdom there shall be no end, and he shall reign forever and ever. That is Baha'u'llah, my friends. Baha'u'llah, 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 Ya Baha'ul Abha.
On the second day, the World Congress turned its attention to Abdul-Baha, the son of Baha'u'llah, his appointed successor, exemplar of his teachings, center of his covenant, a station that is unique in all religious history.
Abdul-Baha was a unique individual. He was the son of Baha'u'llah, but he was much more than that. From his very childhood, he showed qualities most unusual in human beings. He displayed a perfection of person and character that is absolutely mind-boggling. Long before Baha'u'llah appointed him his successor, he was Baha'u'llah's secretary, he was his shield, he was his deputy. He frequently represented Baha'u'llah with government authorities. He took care of his father's comfort, whatever comfort could be provided to Baha'u'llah in conditions of jail and exile. He impressed everyone who met him, even enemies, with his gentleness, his kindness, his wisdom. And among the Baha'is, he is counted as one of the central figures of this faith.
Many Baha'is have come from far away to attend the Baha'i World Congress, but few, if any, have come as far as William Pandawa of Papua New Guinea. From his remote mountain village deep in the interior of this South Pacific country, William began his journey to New York in early October. He started by walking for one day to reach the nearest airstrip at this village of Aragip. Villagers who had been preparing for his departure gathered to give him a very special farewell. The Darga district of Papua New Guinea is almost entirely Baha'i. There are 40 local spiritual assemblies and more than 3,000 Baha'is. For them, William's trip to the Baha'i World Congress is the community's fulfillment of a deep-seated yearning to demonstrate the power of the Baha'i faith to unite the whole world.
Baha'u'llah said that the world is but one country, and we read this one, and now I really actually want to see it, actually happening. that is one of the aims of my vision of going and seeing different diverse of people from around the world coming together.
William and the people of Darga began to raise money for his trip more than 4 years ago. Ultimately, they would be assisted by a small community of Baha'is halfway around the world. But the $500 they raised among themselves represents an extreme sacrifice, given their subsistence way of life. Life in Darga is still very hard. There are no roads which would allow them to bring produce to market. It could be one of the least developed communities on Earth, being largely cut off from the rest of the world. These chiefs and nearby local spiritual assemblies are making their final donations for William's trip in amounts of $2 and $3 a time.
Since the Baha'i faith came into Darga, to my experience, I see, this feeling of togetherness among other, different religions is grown, is strengthened. And whereas before in the past, we feel that we were different tribes. We should mix together. But since the Baha'i faith came in, we mix around with other villages freely without thinking of these barriers of, say, clan groups, or we feel that they are different from us and all this. Sort of when we say we have Baha'is all over the world, they think that maybe it's true, or because they don't know how big the world is. But when we actually, people ask from here, going to these big places and seeing different, come and just tell the people within our own language how the Baha'i faith is grown, and we have friends all over the world.
As William arrived in New York, together with nearly 20 other Papua New Guinea nationals, their exhaustion from the 10,000-mile journey was overcome by the growing excitement of their undertaking. Upon arrival, William and his compatriots exchanged gifts with members of the Morristown, New Jersey Baha'i community.
When I left my country, I couldn't think of any better present than just bringing this traditional string bed here, made from my clan, and I would like to present it to the LSA of Morristown. Very much.
A historic procession of the peoples of the world. In villages scattered across the entire face of the planet, there are now tens of thousands of other William Pandawas. World citizens all, brothers and sisters, partners in the great transformation of human society to one universal family.
The World Congress takes place at the midpoint of a holy year, in which the Baha'is of the world are commemorating the centenary of the passing of Baha'u'llah and the inauguration of his covenant. It is the second of two spectacular global convocations called to observe these anniversaries. On May 29th, some 3,000 Baha'is gathered in the Holy Land to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the ascension of Baha'u'llah. In his covenant and testament, Baha'u'llah made the unique provisions that have preserved the unity of the Baha'i faith, intact and undivided as it spread all over the world. A community encompassing all the diversity of the human race, eliminating the causes of religious strife and fanaticism, completely unified on a global scale, a movement unrivaled in its potentialities for the peaceful unification of all mankind. This unique and remarkable quality derives from the covenant of Baha'u'llah, the source of the ever-expanding unity of the Baha'i world. From the early days of this century, the city of New York played an important role in this process. It is known to Baha'is as the City of the Covenant.
The covenant actually is a rather simple concept. It is an agreement, a treaty that a prophet of God concludes with his followers. He makes to them certain promises and in return expects them to act in certain ways and follow his commandments. In this specific case, in the Baha'i case, the covenant of Baha'u'llah is about authority and interpretation within the Baha'i community. Authority has always been a problem with religions after the passing of the founder. In Christianity, there was no definitely designated successor. The Roman Catholic Church accepts St. Peter as its leader on the basis of a brief and vague statement. In Islam, of course, there was a dispute between factions immediately upon the passing of Muhammad as to who was going to be the leader of the community. And this led to factionalism, to sectarianism, to the breakup of community, even to religious wars. Baha'u'llah wanted to prevent such an occurrence, and therefore he entered into a covenant with his followers to the effect that his eldest son, Abdul Baha, would be the leader appointed by Baha'u'llah himself, a leader who would exercise authority over the community of the faithful and who would have the unique right to interpret the teachings of his father. That, in essence, is the meaning of the covenant.
Participants of the Baha'i World Congress were invited to a special tribute created to pay homage to the center of Baha'u'llah's covenant, his son and appointed successor, Abdul Baha. A magnificent theme pavilion was constructed, filling no less than 5 complete ballrooms at the New York Hilton Hotel. It was designed to give participants a time capsule look back to Abdul Baha's unparalleled trip to the United States in 1912. Each of the 5 rooms contained unique images and events of that historic visit. It was accordingly titled Abdul Baha, His Mission to America. The exhibit was open to a group of over 100 dignitaries, civic and religious leaders from the Jewish, Christian, and Islamic faiths, as well as reporters from around the world. These honored guests were given a guided tour by the hand of the cause of God, Amatul Baha Ruhiyya Khanum. Her personal commentary helped give perspective to the World Congress and Abdul Baha's visit to the city of New York. In the final room, a recording of the voice of Abdul Baha could be heard chanting a prayer, while the master's fez was displayed with the utmost dignity and honor.
Behold a candle, how it gives its light. It weeps its life away, drop by drop, to give its flame. You must die to the world, and so be born again, and enter to the kingdom of heaven. Look at me, follow me, be as I am. Abdul Baha, Abdul Baha.
In the evenings, Congress participants were treated to a variety of artistic performances, more than 100 acts from around the world.
こんにちは。私は日本からインドに今行っています。
Nous sommes tous de la Réunion et nous sommes tous une grande famille.
E vi salutiamo tutti da New York.
Asango Banya, consunto me colo, ayole yale Baha'i.
Hola, queremos dar un saludo de parte de todos los amigos y jóvenes venezolanos, a toda la gente del mundo y a todos los jóvenes.
We have 5,000 youth here from 160 countries, and I've never seen so many excited youth in my life. Out of 30,000 people, these 5,000 youth are carrying the excitement at a level that you wouldn't believe.
Being a Baha'i youth now, it's scary, it's exciting, because as Baha'i youth now, we're like the last ones who are going to be able to tell someone for the first time about the Baha'i faith.
Seeing all the youths of the world holding hands together and celebrating the oneness of humanity, celebrating the one universal family, the one Baha'i family. I think this is very, 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 very important to me. And this has really affected me. It has entered right inside my heart.
All here, everybody's in love with Baha'u'llah and love with God. We're all joined as one thing.
One common cause. That's the main thing. That's weird that everybody has one frame of thought. Well, not one frame of thought, actually, but it's like everybody's on the same
level,
positive level.
I got here and the first day I was here, all these people were here from different countries, different states, and automatically we had something in common. That was being that we were all Baha'is. That was automatically we had something to talk about. That was Baha'u'llah and the covenant.
It just made me realize that there are all these people all working for the same thing, and I'm not alone. And like I see all the youth here doing the same thing that I'm trying to do, and it just like gives me a big boost.
When I leave, I know that everyone is going to know about the Baha'i faith. And I'm not going to be able to go back and joke around and just be, you know, a slack Baha'i, just a lip Baha'i, and just talk it. I have to act it now. To me, when I say act it, I have to be able to exemplify every day the virtues of Baha'u'llah, the principles that he has given me. I have to be able to go and actually, truly, genuinely show to my sisters and brothers that I believe in the elimination of prejudices, that I don't believe in discriminating. I have to act it now. I can't just say it.
Youth have been heroic in the faith, and they are heroic in the faith. The Bab himself, the herald of the faith, was young, a youth, and was martyred for what he taught. So when one looks at the whole history of the Baha'i faith, one sees really a history of youth. Youth not just chronologically, but certainly youth in spirit.
I think the most attractiveness about it will be the colorful blend of all of the nations and all of your coloring. I think it's just absolutely beautiful, fabulous.
Who brought this message of love to mankind? Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Who said that justice is best in his sight? Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah came for all mankind. He brought us love and peace of mind. He says man should live as one. There is no place for us to run.
I think the Baha'i World Congress is particularly interesting for the press
because it has such a wide variety and diversity of people. I don't know if there's any other event in the world where you have that broad sweep of different nations, different cultures, different nationalities, different religious backgrounds coming together. And I think that in itself is a news story. It's a story which is unusual in the world. News tends to focus on violence and aggression and war, and here is a real gathering of the nations of the world coming together to talk about issues which matter.
You have here representatives of the Azeri Baha'i and the Armenian Baha'i. As you know, the Azeris and the Armenians are fighting each other in a very protracted, bloody war that claimed many thousands of lives. And the fact that your religion somehow managed to bring them together here, well, it's it testifies that well, at least some kind of rational harmony and national harmony can be brought.
Through a constellation of communication satellites placed some 22,000 miles in space, we are joined together in celebration of Baha'u'llah's call for the unity of mankind and to emblazon his name across the planet. Akia, Western Samoa, are you there?
We are here.
Buenos Aires, Argentina, welcome to our Cycle of Unity. Bucharest, Romania, are you there?
You cannot possibly imagine the thrill of this magical moment for the Baha'is of Eastern Europe.
Thank you, Bucharest. Thank you.
We send our very warm greetings and Baha'i love to all who are gathered in the David's Convention Center in New York. Allahu Akbar.
Moscow, Russia, are you with us?
Jambo from Kenya.
Panama, welcome to this Feast of Unity. Singapore, are you there? We shall now welcome the final live location link up. Hello, Australia.
2,500 Baha'is are gathered from many nations of the Pacific region. That vast area of the globe, as Shoghi Effendi described it, endowed with unimaginable potentialities. Allah, pa friends.
The final link in the global satellite network of the Baha'i World Congress connected all participants and viewers to the Baha'i World Center on the slopes of Mount Carmel, to the seat of the Universal House of Justice.
A full century has gone by since the covenant of Baha'u'llah was established and set in motion. And we extend to the members of his community our loving greetings as they are assembled today at the World Congress in New York and at auxiliary conferences on all continents. Sublime emotions surge in our hearts as we survey the dramatic history and amazing progress of these 100 years. At the time of the passing of Baha'u'llah, the Baha'i community was contained within the borders of no more than 15 countries, the vast majority of its members living in his native Iran. The community now embraces the entire planet. We rejoice at the spirit of unity, which is evident in its steady consolidation through the workings of the administrative order to which the covenant has given birth. Our accumulated experience has clearly demonstrated the efficacy of the covenant. The genuine unity it induces greatly encourages our expectation that all of humanity can and will be united. Let those seriously concerned about the state and fate of the world give due attention to the claims of Baha'u'llah. Let them realize that the storms battering at the foundations of society will not be stilled unless and until spiritual principles are actively engaged in the search for solutions to social problems. May our words proclaim and our deeds demonstrate that there is only one God, only one religion, only one race. And few though we be, may we thus fulfill our duty towards Baha'u'llah, towards his covenant, and indeed towards all humankind.